the doctor came and said, yes, there is cancer in, sorry, there is cancer in your spine, in your hip, in your liver, and in your collarbone. And she didn't see the outside of the hospital again.
If you get value out of this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Let's get on to the video. So at some point, your life changes again.
Yes.
So
we had our kind of, we later that same year, so she had started going back to work. Her work was amazing, and she was able to start, half a day and then 1 day a week and slowly start building up. And I think she'd gotten to a point, she was doing about 4 days a week. And again, with that attitude of, let's live life, we thought, we're going to take a second honeymoon. Again, she hadn't been on a plane since our honeymoon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She still loves her Irish stuff, but now with Outlander on TV, she was all about the Scottish.
Okay.
So we booked the trip to Scotland.
Well, you're still in that same part of the world.
We're still in that same general vicinity, exactly. And again, there was kind of that hemming and hawing. It's like, should we do it? Should we not? Maybe this isn't the best time financially. And, whether it was seeing what was ahead of us, I thought to myself, you know what? I told her, listen, I'm going to book the tickets. I did not get any insurance, and I'm booking the hotel without, with no cancellation option. We are going come hell or high water. And we did. We went. She had been starting to complain even before the trip. She was having some back pain. And she would say, you know what, it's nothing. She started seeing physio. She's like, I was in bed. I was trying to pick up something from the floor, and I just felt, a muscle pull or something. It's no big deal.
Yeah. So sometimes what happens is, you can tell me if I'm on track here or not, but sometimes what happens post these treatments is so much happens to our bodies that we just think it's part of it. It's just normal. It's just not that serious. It's an after effect of the treatments.
Yeah, you did exactly. It's just, my body's tired. I haven't been moving a lot for the last year. Of course, you're going to pull a muscle. It's not a big deal. Our trip went on, and by the end, she spent half the trip in the hotel room. She was using hiking sticks. She could barely walk. It was becoming really, really painful. The plane ride home, she stood for the whole flight because it was so painful to sit down.
So, Steve, this is about a year after her treatments?
But almost a year after being cleared. Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you're going to the doctor every 3 months for regular checkups.
I think it was every 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And everything had been progressing normally.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
I just wanted to catch up a little bit on that. But okay, so go ahead.
No,
so
that's important.
You're on your way home now?
So we're on our way home, and finally she goes to see massage therapy and other physical therapy. Nothing seems to be helping. Everything seems to be getting worse. And then finally one day we went to the family doctor. I went there for that appointment, and the family doctor, again, these words that stick with you forever. He said, you know what, let's send you to the hospital for x-rays just to rule out that the cancer might have come back. And so we drove from the family doctor to the hospital for x-rays. He gave us a requisition. We did the x-rays. We waited there for the results. And the doctor came and said, yes, there is cancer in your spine, in your hip, in your liver, and in your collarbone. And she didn't see the outside of the hospital again. I think it was the next day, we saw her oncologist there. And the oncologist said to us, the cancer is back. It's very aggressive. And there's nothing more that we can do for you other than pain and comfort. And then she said, I'll leave you two alone for a little while. And when the doctor left the room, Maggie turned to me and said, "Steve, what does that mean?" And so then it was up to me to say, "Maggie, I'm sorry. It means you're dying." And we thought, the doctor told us, "You've probably got 6 months to a year." Said, "Look, we can either go through that time and things are gonna be hard. We can get you surgery. Let's at least get you in for surgery. We can fix up your spine, so at least you can walk again, and you can walk and you can have a bit of a normal life."
So at this point, she wasn't walking.
Barely. It was very painful to walk. Yeah. She would walk small amounts, but those last few weeks, we had brought a bed down to our main floor living room, and she was sleeping there. The stairs were really hard for her to do, so yeah, she'd been sleeping down on the main floor. Um, yeah,
So,
yeah, it was too painful.
so Steve, let me slow you down for a second.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, when someone is diagnosed the first time and it, you're given this information, it's difficult to understand what's happening. You come out on the other side of it, and I can't even imagine hearing the words that the oncologist uh, spoke that day. Um, what went through your head at that time? I mean, like, this is not something that. Um, I mean, there's no textbook for this.
no, no, there really isn't, and
You have
you,
3 kids.
yeah,
You have 3 young children.
yeah. When you look at the thing on the whole, you look at it as, what, we got what we thought was the worst news we could have ever gotten, and then we went through hell to get through that and get back to a normal life. And then, yeah, chemo and radiation were so hard, and you felt like giving up. She felt like giving up sometimes, but no, we got to push through. We've got lots of life ahead. We've got children to raise, and then you make it through, and there's that sense of euphoria. That what, I did it. I beat cancer. I have the rest of my life ahead of me from now, and I'm going to appreciate life better, and I'm going to live life. And then when you get that diagnosis of, there's again that there's nothing we can do other than provide you with comfort and pain management.
If that video touched your heart and you got value out of it and you want to hear another piece, click here. If you want to watch the full episode and hear the whole story, click here.